Ja, Kim. Geht schon.
Allez.
Ja, gut, geht schon.
Kim, Panier, geht schon, Kim, hol an. Ja. Gut, Kim.
Okay.
Geil.
Geil, ey. Yeah, welcome everybody to this video. I've done quite a few Ticino trips this winter. It's just one of my favorite bouldering areas, and it's not too far from Innsbruck, just like a 4 or 5 hour drive from my home. And yeah, there's just so many boulders to try, and I did try quite a few different hard boulders, checked out different stuff, and now my last 2 trips were really successful. One just before New Year's for 3 climbing days, and then one after New Year's for like 4 climbing days. And yeah, it's something I really wanted to share. So in this video, you're going to see all the ascents that I did during those 2 little trips. But yeah, let's start with the first day of the first trip. I finally was able to send this boulder problem that I've always tried after Alphane. Its name is Big Paw. It's a sit start to Bugalaga, and yeah, somehow I always struggled on this boulder. Like when I was trying Alphane, I sometimes went there in the evening after the session thinking I could just quickly do it. It's graded 8B+/8C. Some people calling it 8B+, some 8C. I think especially in terms of the grades, I will give my opinion on a lot of those boulders for the rest of the video. I think grading and bouldering is just really, really difficult and very subjective. It sometimes really matters your size, how you fit into the boulder, your style. And yeah, depending on that, I think you just have to give your opinion, and that's what I'm going to do also in this video. Anyways, back to Big Paw. I've always struggled when I went there after Alphane. I thought I could just quickly do it, but that was not the case. And this trip, I finally spent a whole day with the full focus on it, actually going there fresh after a rest day. And yeah, let's see how it goes. This is how the video started. I was there with Stefan Scheltz, a friend. And yeah, I was finally able to do the moves quite well, and then was also able to link the boulder. The start is not too hard. But then now you're like one move off the stand start, Bugalaga. But now for me, the hardest part was getting this hill hook in, coming to the intermediate, and now the crux move, which is very, very morphological, and which is also why I think for taller people, this boulder seems to be not as hard. And for me, it definitely felt like it could be 8C in my opinion. And yeah, this is kind of like the victory top out. You just don't want to mess it up. And I was pretty psyched because I think especially Bugalaga, but also Big Paw is a big classic of Chironico in Ticino. It's such an amazing block. Like the boulder itself just looks so cool. Such a perfect line. And this is how I started this trip just before New Year's. So this Big Paw ascent was just after arriving. We usually do this. We drive for like 4.5 hours from Innsbruck and then straight go into the climbing crack, do some bouldering. So this was like afternoon session on Big Paw. Actually, in the evening of this day, I also quickly went to Ephira, tried to check it out a little bit. It's like a really hard 8C+ boulder for me in Chironico, but it was not the main goal of the trip. So the next day, since I also had 2 friends that really wanted to try Dreamtime and Return of the Dreamtime, I joined them. And for me, since I've already done Dreamtime, I really wanted to finish off Return of the Dreamtime. I tried it a trip before, and for me, it was always clear that I could send this boulder, basically. It doesn't sound too humble, but I was really dominating the Dreamtime part. I really just loved the style of this boulder, and it was always only about this last move. Return of the Dreamtime is basically you do the first part of Dreamtime, and just before you go left on Dreamtime, you exit straight, like a little right, with one more hard move. So I think it's definitely harder than Dreamtime, but more to that after like watching the video. What made it really hard on this boulder is the friction and the conditions, which is why I actually didn't send it on the last trip, where I was also focusing on the boulder on the other side of the block, which we will come to later. But yeah, I knew sooner or later I'm going to do it. I just need the right friction because, yeah, let's watch the video. But I think it's another cool addition from Yannick Flohe to the Dreamtime block. I think it was actually the third ascent, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, let's watch it. So yeah, this is just like the start of Dreamtime. I had this new beta for the start, which Melissa Deneuve showed me, a strong woman who is trying Dreamtime a lot. With this toe hook on the right, I can do the start really fast that way. And this heel hook is always a bit tricky. It's kind of like the only thing where I can fall in the beginning if that heel hook just doesn't stick. But luckily that day it stuck pretty well. And now, yeah. This is where the stand start of Dreamtime starts. Or in this case, you do the right exit, which is called Somnol Ascents, and it's AP. Maybe the hardest single move of the boulder is actually this move now, the jump up to the edge. But funny enough, I never fell on this move. I just really like it.
Good shot.
Big move. And now this is where it starts. Yeah, first you get like a little tired, but also mostly you get sweaty hands, and it's really important to still have friction, because now this hold is pretty terrible, and you have to do this really big move now upwards, and often I would just dry fire. But this time, I barely stuck it.
Good shot.
And yeah, this is basically an easy top out now, but yeah, I was really psyched. After doing big pod the day before, finally also finishing this Return of the Dreamtime, which regarding your grade is very difficult to tell.
Go.
Yeah, regarding the grade of Return of the Dreamtime, it's kind of hard to judge. I think Yannick Flohe, he graded it 8C+. Which makes sense if you grade Dreamtime 8C, I think, because it's definitely like one grade harder than Dreamtime, in my opinion. I think Dreamtime is AP+. I don't really I think it was always this legendary AP+, and in my opinion, not enough has changed in the boulder for it to be called 8C now. And I still think Dreamtime is AP+, and if Dreamtime is AP+, then it makes sense to call this 8C. But yeah, that's how I feel about this block. It also makes sense if you go to the other side of the boulder where you have story of free waltz, which we will probably see later in this video, which is definitely a grade harder than this, and 2 grades harder than Dreamtime. But yeah, all subjective, like I said. So yeah, this was the first trip. I had 3 climbing days on that trip, like I said. So that third day, I actually worked on Ephira. It's a boulder that I still haven't been able to finish, and I want to go back to Ticino soon. But I did do a few more other boulders in the next trip. It was like in the beginning of January. And yeah, this was a bit of a longer trip. And we started it with this hike, which is a heinous hike that I've done a couple of times now the last few weeks, because it's up to the Dreamtime block again, quite far up, especially now since you have to park all the way down low. And yeah, the boulder that I'm going to try here is Story of Free Waltz. It's been first ascended by Sean Rabatu, and no one has done it since then. Jeremy Crudo was really, really close, but yeah, there hasn't been a second ascent yet. And I've been working on the boulder for a few sessions. It always went really well on everything, but I really struggled on the crux move in the middle until Yannick Flohe showed me this little footholds that changed everything. And yeah, this trip we just arrived in Cresciano, went straight up there after the drive, and I felt really good when the warm-up, could do the moves really quickly and better than ever before because of Yannick Flohe's little foothold, and also Adam Andra Comp, that new shoe on my left, which really helped
Kim.
for the toe hook. You will see.
Jawohl, geht schon. Voll gut, Kim. Jawohl, Gemma. Gut.
Yeah.
Geht schon. Yes.
In this boulder, the 2 knee pads, or at least 1 knee pad, is definitely really important. Sean also used it, so I was happy to use it as well, because you actually have a no hand rest in a boulder problem, which is not, which is quite unusual. But But yeah,
Sauber.
the start is really powerful. Like this whole start is already really pretty hard and very tricky. Respect to Sean and the crew that supported him of finding all this beta. And yeah, this is just before the crux move of this boulder. So yeah, this talk is super sketchy. And now the really hard move that I really struggled on until finding this right foot that Yannick showed me. But yeah, not this go, unfortunately. It's such a committing move. But this was the first try of the day. I was just warming up, checking out the moves. This was the first try. And I was pretty happy with it. Because yeah, my goal of this whole trip was just...
Präzision.
Yeah. Like Misha said, precision was the problem on that go. But I felt really good that go, and I was surprised how tired I was on the no-hand rest. But then yeah, I remember this go. I really felt like could have already done it, and now I just like rested for a full hour, tried to cool off my skin again. Not too much though, because in this block actually you don't want too cold hands. And yeah, this is the second try just after 1 hour of rest. Stuck this hold really well. This is the first pretty hard move. And then yeah, somehow I couldn't find the toe hook immediately, but eventually did. Another hard bump, and now it's okay actually. It's just technical. Get this knee bar in.
Sehr gut, Kim.
And now on my way to the no-hand rest. Maybe many people know the boulder story of two worlds, which starts on the right, and I think it's a bit misleading that, yeah, the name of this boulder, it seems like they share a lot of things, but actually they don't share anything from the start, but they share the stand start, which is the dagger, another famous AB plus boulder, which, yeah, I'm gonna tell you once I'm in that boulder, if I can make it. Let's see. Yeah, place my chalk back there, chalk up one more time, and get ready for the hard crux move. I think I would say it's probably almost 8C up to the dagger, and then you have to climb AB plus or like 8B until the top out. But yeah, somehow this trip it felt so good. Crux move.
Kim, Kim,
and bam.
Yeah. Good, Kim.
Stuck it. This is the start hold of the dagger, this right hand hold. And now what's so cool about the dagger is it's a perfect boulder to fight hard. It's very physical, but not a single move which is crazy hard, so you can really fight it out. Especially with the support of Misha and Julie in this case.
Get fight it, Kim. Come on. Good, Kim. Das ist es, geht schon. Kim, fight. Come on.
Yeah, and
good, Kim.
Here my full focus was just not dabbing the tree.
Kim.
Because yeah, this is another little crux of the dagger. It's pretty easy to dab that tree, and then everything was for nothing basically. But yeah, I was really happy that I kept it together, and this was the second try of the day. And yeah, first time I made it through this one move. I also never fell in the dagger and actually made it through. Because yeah, usually my endurance or my base endurance is not too bad. So yeah, I was pretty psyched. But yeah,
wenn das noch kannst. Geil.
I was so psyched. This boulder is so fun to climb on.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's second ascent after Sean Rubber too.
Den ersten Slope hinter der Kante so schlecht gehabt, ich war fast die Hand gegangen. Aber wie du gesagt hast, du kannst dann so geil fighten im Deck.
Geil.
Oh. Geil.
I felt amazing on this one day, and all of a sudden the boulder didn't feel that hard anymore. This is often how it is in bouldering. I feel like once you've refined everything, it doesn't even feel that hard once you send it. And yeah, regarding the grade of Story of Free Worlds, I did think 8C plus felt right, at least to me. It's often really weird in bouldering that like once you actually send the boulder. It doesn't feel too bad. Like that one day that we just watched, it just felt so good after having the perfect beta, getting that foothold from Yannick, and everything just clicked. I think the conditions were also really good that day because it was slightly humid, which is really good for this block in particular. And it didn't feel crazy hard anymore. But the few days that I tried it before, it did feel really hard. And it definitely felt, like the second hardest boulder that I've done after Alphane, I would say. So I think, I would also grade it 80 plus, or at least that's my humble opinion on this one. Day 2, we went back to Cresciano. It was too cold to climb anywhere else that day, so we went back to Cresciano, and we actually took an even bigger hike to the La Cruz sector. And I did this really old boulder that I've always looked at, but somehow never tried. It's called Mithril, and it's the Mithril sit start, so Mithril sit. It's graded AP plus, and I did it quite quickly that day after like checking out the moves, watching videos. This is just a luxury nowadays that you can just watch a video on YouTube, get all the beta, and save so much time. So I could make quite quick work of it, but it definitely felt hard, and I had to fight.
Good.
This move is hard to this Inca crimp, and now the slap to the slipper.
Good,
Another slap. And now this really cool foot walk to get a good heel. And I thought when I was trying it, it's completely over, but you see, I almost fell going out to the corner. And this is where the boulder should already be over. It's quite quick and powerful, but I have to say this slap and this mental were not that easy for me because I didn't check out the slap at all. And it's very scary because it's obviously not very hard, but if you have never done it before, it feels a little sketchy, and you really don't want to fall up there. So I was quite nervous.
Good. Sauber.
Kind of looks like you could just run up there, but you can't. There's like not a single handhold, and it's all just like little feet. I mean, all you have to do is just trust your feet, and you're good. But if you haven't really worked it out, it's definitely a little sketchy, and you just know you're not allowed to fall at some point because you're just gonna hurt yourself. So, but I remember I really enjoyed it in the end because it's definitely some kind of a kick that you get up there, and you're just really focused and make sure you don't make a mistake. And, I took my time just to be sure. And thanks to Michael Pico-Ruiz for filming this one and also the last one that we just saw. Story Free Waltz. Those are definitely the two best videos in terms of video quality that I have in this video. But please still stay tuned because there's some other hard ascents following. But this was basically the only other one that we filmed on that day. I flashed another 8A plus, which I have to look up the name now. Ange avec de Cornet. It's like an 8A plus just to the right of this. It's next to La Prou. Another really cool one that I was able to flash, and then we tried an 8C at the end of the day, which I couldn't send, called Crystal Ship. It's another amazing line from Giuliano Cameroni, where I really have to come back to for it. And this was the end of day 2. After this, I had a rest day, just tried to grow back some skin. And Misha actually left back to Innsbruck, but I had this other friend who stayed a couple more days, which was Florian Schmalzel. And we were really psyched to check out some hard lines in Brione. So the day after, we went to Brione already, and I was really working on Vecchio Leone sit. Vecchio Leone is like this super classic 8B, one of the best 8Bs in whole Ticino, in my opinion. And it has this sit start, which is graded 80 plus. It has only been done by 2 people, by Aidan Roberts, who did the first ascent, and Matt Fultz from the US. At least that's my knowledge. Maybe someone else did it, but as far as I know, there have only been these 2 ascents. And I actually tried this boulder for just like 1 or 2 hours after doing the multi-pitch on the dam with Jessica Pilz on the qualification day. We did the 6 pitches, and then I straight went there just to check out this boulder, and I felt really good at it, and I hope to be able to finish it quite quickly. But yeah, that first day, I was able to do the moves well, but somehow I really struggled. I mean, the sit start into Vecchio Leone is just 2 moves, but it has this footwalk, which is really difficult, in my opinion, and it was really important to have good friction on the crimp, and somehow that day it was crazy cold and almost too cold for me, and I couldn't really climb as well as I would like to, and I didn't feel really good friction on that hold. So yeah, I wasn't able to send that day, but then I came back the next day, and yeah, this is basically how it started almost, because this was, I was warming up, and then this was the second try of the day. This is Vecchio Leone sit. It's like 2 moves into this 8B stand start Vecchio Leone, and those 2 moves are really hard, probably like 8B plus in itself. First move is already hard, but now this footwalk is crazy hard for me somehow, but I had much better friction that day. And now the crux move, bam, big step to the start hole of Vecchio Leone, also kind of hard match. And now you have to do Vecchio Leone, which is still a challenging 8B, but luckily I was able to do it on my first try getting here. I almost fell here on this match. Yeah, almost, but kept it together. But yeah, I still had to fight, because now this is the crux move of Vecchio Leone, and I was definitely tired and had numb fingers, so poof, I really had to commit to get it, but yeah, I did it. And now you have already a jug. And I was actually resting a little bit here, because I never checked out the top part, the mental, and I only saw the 2 videos from Aiden and Matt, and it seemed like they both kind of struggled on that mantle, or at least really took their time, and it didn't look like crazy solid. So I was like a bit scared of the top, because there was snow up there, and I wasn't sure if it's going to be super easy. So I just made sure to be ready for it, resting like a little bit. But in the end, I have to say, it was not that bad. So yeah, that's another 8C plus. I was able to do this trip. Definitely, I think it's definitely a very soft 8C plus in my opinion. It didn't feel too hard to me. Could also be hard 8C, really hard to say. Like I said, it's so subjective. It's only these 2 moves. I really like them into the 8B. So yeah, thinking of some boulders that are being called 8C nowadays in Chironico or in Ticino, then this could definitely be 8C plus, but in general, it didn't feel too bad for me. So I think either like soft 8C plus or hard 8C. And yeah, the day was still not over. I was prepared to drive home after this day by myself back to Innsbruck. But like I said, I did Vecchio in my second try that day, so it was still a lot of time. And there's this other really hard boulder just next to it called Lion's Share. It's from Aiden Roberts as well. And there was no video of it. And I only read his Instagram post that he was saying that he even thinks for him it was the hardest boulder on the block. But he thinks it's less his style. And that's why he said it's something between 8C or 8C plus. And yeah, I checked it out quickly and I got the move styled really well. It's a sit start into an 8A plus stand start, which is called Vecchio Brione. Not the best name, but yeah. Which I flashed just the day before. And yeah, the sit start is like 2 very hard moves into it, but somehow I really, really liked it. And I was able to make really quick process of this boulder. But yeah, let's watch it, I guess. I'm actually not 100% sure if this is the starting position, but I just did a sit start, and I did the most obvious sit start that I could think of for me, it wouldn't have really changed much if I would have started one hold lower. But yeah, maybe I actually started wrong. I hope not. But yeah, I think the first move is by far the hardest move of the boulder. I really like the right hand crimp because I could really use the thumb a lot, and I love crimps where I can use my thumb a lot. So yeah, it's this big move to this little crimp, and the biggest key was finding out how to hold that left hand. It was really important to hold it only 3 fingers and have the thumb to be able to do this move really well. And now one more move, and I'm already in the 8A plus stand start, which could also be more like 8A, I think. It's not that bad, so I was pretty confident, and this was my second try from the start. First try, I fell on the first move, and then I was able to do it right away. So yeah, I was really psyched. It was just an amazing day. Here was actually like, it's this big move to the jug, but I was actually kind of scared from here on if I could send it, because the day was finally warmer and all the snow melted. And as you can already see, the boulder got completely wet from here. So every single hold that I'm touching from here, they're good holds, but they were completely soaked. And also the top mantle. Unfortunately, we can't really see it. I'm sorry about that. I was there by myself. I mean, I had a spotter then, but yeah, unfortunately, we can't see the top out. But let's listen.
Yes!
Obviously, I mean, we never know. Could have also just made those noises and never topped it out. But yeah, I think you can't believe me. The top out is definitely not that hard. It was a bit sketchier than usually because it was wet, but yeah, I was psyched that I was able to do this one as well. I think it's the second ascent of Lion's Chair, another amazing boulder by Aiden. And yeah, all in all, 2 extremely successful trips, especially the second one. And yeah, I felt really strong and everything was coming together really well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little commentary. Just trying to give some insights about the boulder problems. And if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments. And yeah, if you could support this channel by subscribing, that would be amazing and a big help. Thanks a lot, and see you guys later.